Something to know about me before I tell my story is that I loved pulling pranks as a kid. Back when I was 10 or so, I got into the wrong group of kids. Types that smoked and smelled things they shouldn't because of their gangbanger relative. Yeah, we lived in that kind of neighborhood. The type that when you go to sleep, all you hear is yelling and gunfire right outside your house. Even with the bad situation, these kids still liked playing pranks. Most likely due to them being junior gang members. The leader was a 14-year-old Devon Morris, the type to call shots that weren't his shots, and the idolizer 11-year-old Lee Harper, the kind of hype man for Devon. Then me, Jake Lorraine, or Lori as Devon calls me due to my girly face. They saw me as kind of a new blood and brought me into their gang. But first, they of course needed to initiate me into the group. On a weekend, the two brought me over to the high school just a few blocks from my neighborhood. These losers over at my high school wanted some flyers put up for their new class president. You're gonna fix them up if you know what I mean, Devon told me. He handed me the pictures of me that he took with a stapler. Go ahead and get to work, little Lori, Devon ordered with a grin. Couldn't I get into a lot of trouble? I meekly asked. Devon pushed me to the ground and dropped me on my ass. Gangsters always get in trouble. It's what makes us tough. You gonna be tough or am I gonna have to make you tough? Devon barked with a clenched fist. I got up with the pictures and staplers before going to the school to prove how tough I was. I stapled down my pictures of the female class president that were on the walls of the school, hiding my face with the hood of my jacket. As I was putting down the posters, I heard something very faintly. Respect, I heard. I looked around to see who it was or who was around me, but saw nobody. I quickly stapled down all the pictures, and once I was done, I simply tossed the stapler, hopping on my small skateboard to skate home. The next day told me for certain I'd made a mistake. I woke up the next morning expecting my mom and my room snapping at me with the principal of the school, but that didn't happen. I did see that I was late for school and hurried up to get dressed before going out to find my mom. I found her at the dinner table looking absolutely horrible. Her skin was filled with rashes, and it looked like she hadn't slept for weeks, but it had only been a day. Mom, are you okay? I asked in my usual low tone. Even with my low tone, my mother fell out of her sleep to crawl against the fridge. Get away! Don't hurt me, please! She cried. I stepped back in shock and could see her hands. There were cuts and marks across her wrists, along with marks that seemed like she was fighting against someone. I tried to step closer, but my own mom treated me like I was about to kill her. Get the fuck away from me, you monster! She howled. Tears rolled down my face before I went and grabbed my skateboard to skate away from home. I skated to where I might find Devon at the school. But when I got there, it was horrible. I saw police cars and EMS vans at the school where I could see on the big sign. It said, "Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Devon Morris, Lee Harper, and Jack Lorraine." What the hell? I thought out loud. But then I saw my photos on the wall. But they weren't pictures of me. In each of them were pictures of Devon and Lee, but only in pieces. Then I saw several pictures of my mom being covered in gashes and slashes, along with my dad, dead with his own pistol in his mouth. Beautiful, aren't they? A low and raspy voice said. I screamed and fell to the ground, nearly busting my head wide open. And honestly, I wish I did so I didn't have to see the thing in front of me. The thing was me. My whole person was standing right in front of me, but with a twisted face. There were marks, cuts, exposed bone, but skin that looked like it was rotten. The disturbing version of me had no eyes and a disgusting smile made with different teeth from all 4 of my closest friends. None of them had respect. Your mom had none for your father, and neither did he. Your friends took enjoyment out of disrespecting others. So I had to teach them some respect. The twisted persona of me said, They were just kids, and Mom and Dad never hurt me. I gasped out. The other me tilted its head. Maybe you can turn things around, but I need to make sure of it. The other me smiled. He then pulled out a bloodied cleaver, then pulled out my hand. No! Please, no! Were my last few words. I woke up in a hospital hoping that everything I saw and experienced was just a dream. But I looked down and saw the opposite. After that, I grew up using a prosthetic hand that I used to help people. I went to events to teach the effects of becoming a gang member. When a kid sees another kid with a real fake hand, it tends to set him straight. If you're looking for a damn moral, it's pretty obvious. Be respectful to others and be a good part of your community, because trust me, you don't want to see what happens if you don't.